everybody! So glad to be back with my thrift store haul video. I was telling you guys yesterday in yesterday's video that came out that I was going to attach the haul video, but when I got home and saw all this stuff, I'm like, ain't no way. The video is already 57 hours long, so I have to do a separate haul video. Treated ourselves to a Starbucks. Haven't had that in forever. Gonna have lunch soon. It got colder today. It's very cloudy and there's a lot of fog and like a misty rain, you know. So we already walked our 4 miles and went to the grocery store, and I have a swap that I'm in with my craft class to swap a Valentine tag, so I have to work on that. But I wanted to show all you guys all this stuff that I got. I think there might be like 3 things from the Goodwill. Everything else is from little local thrift stores, church-run thrift stores, things like that. Bless you. He's out there listing stuff. So I'm very excited to show you guys. And this is all from, I would say, starting last Saturday till yesterday. So all within a week, just checking a few times throughout the week, the same little thrift stores that I always check. So, okay. I got this little miniature silver candelabra. I think this is Indiana glass, but it's a little frosted glass, a green grape vase. Picked that up. Again, little local thrift stores. I got this guy. I think this would be cute to set on my shelf. Remember, I tell you I'm always looking for little plants and things, and I love how it looks like it's in a champagne bucket. So I have to kind of rework the flowers. I might even be able to put some color in there, but I think that's gonna go in my house. Then I have things shoved in this bucket. I got these. These say made in Sweden. They look like little vintage Valentine cards. Let me cut it open. Not card. Well, there's some kind of card. I don't know what. They have them like taped in a bag. They're all the same, but look at these. So I'm not quite sure what that went to. They say made in Sweden on the back. Because there's a little cut in there, like you would have used these for something. But they all have those angels. So I thought that was really cute. So I picked those up. Then this is a champagne bucket to keep your like ice in your bottle cold. So it's a smaller one. It's not like a big round bucket, but it is one of them. This is a little tourist piece, but I love that it's on a little horse. It's from Idaho. A little like copper piece. I don't know if it went on something, but I thought that was cute. All people that have like little trinket shelves, little miniature shelves. This, it's signed. It says, I think, Fort Creek Mill, Ann Williams, Seagrove, North Carolina, maybe? So, but look, it's a piece of pottery, and it's a little kitty cat poking over a wall. And I think it's like maybe a napkin holder, or not even a napkin holder, it would fall over, like a letter holder, something like that. I thought that was so dang cute. So I picked that up. Again, that's a local thrift store. I picked these up at a local thrift store. These gorgeous, they have like the stars on them and stuff. I gotta clean them up a little, but stunning. Picked these up. Now, when I say I picked these up, or I say I grabbed these, or I got these, I'm not implying that I stole it. Because apparently that's a big problem with some people that watch. They're like, why can't you say you just bought it? And I'm like, kind of figured that was implied. So I got the cutest little finger lamp, fairy lamp type thing. That's the shade. You could put, I didn't have a real actual candle to put in there. Imagine that. I used to have a big bucket of them. But that's probably one of my favorite things that I found. Believe it or not. Oh, let me turn this back off. It's just delicate and simple. Love it. And then I got these. I saw these and then I had to go and I like put them down, and I was able to go back to the same thrift store a couple days later and they were still there. But these brass butterfly candle holders, maybe like a Homeco type thing, but I love them. This is an item from Goodwill. This I think it's Austria. Yeah, it probably is. Part of the label or the thing is rubbed off, but gorgeous. Love the florals. Love the edge. Love that teal. So beautiful all the time, but especially to put out for springtime. This is also another thing from Goodwill. It doesn't have the little dish insert, but I have quite a few little clear glass vessels that could sit in there, or it could just be all kinds of things. So I still got it anyway, even though it was missing the vessel, because a lot of times you find the clear glass piece and you don't have this. So I got that. Trust me, I almost kept that little fairy lamp thing. I got these little cuties. Now these, it's kind of like a 2-for-1 because these probably didn't originally come on there. However, the thrift store was smart enough to sort of style them that way, hoping that they would sell better like this than, I think it says Japan on the bottom, than like these sitting there on the shelf on their own. So, but it's so, I told you, I've always said I love the glass mixed with metal. I love that look. And then that silver's nice and shiny. Ain't none of my silver nice and shiny. And then I got this one. They did the same thing. How cute is that? Just put a little tea light in there on a little chamber stick. Got that. Exciting. This, I love this little basket. I believe this is pine needles. It's a pine needle basket, and it's an actual art. You weave that all together and you make baskets. But I got these shrimpy little candle holders. There was only one of this, but I got it anyway. Little butterfly brass wall sconce. And see, with these, you could do the same idea and take these little glass pieces and put them on there. And you could do shorter ones. Yeah. This is another thing that I thought, it's the cutest thing that I found, and I was going to keep it. So at first when I looked at it, I was like, oh, it's a nice little compact. What's that doing over in the candle area? But then you open it, and it is for a tea light. Like right here had a party light sticker. On the bottom, party light is like engraved into the brass. But you just, again, I didn't have one to test, but you put your tea light there and it lights up. And then this is like, it works like those antique ones, and it like kind of illuminates from there. Cutest thing. Really was gonna keep that bad boy. But I decided it's just, it's so cool that I know someone will love it like I do. And then I picked this up. This probably isn't terribly old, but I do like the little shape of it. How it's like a little flower candle holder. So that's cute. And then of course the basket. I really liked how that basket was. And that's going to be in our lifestyle as well. I thought it was pretty darn neat. Almost 10 minutes in and you thought I was done. Here's a few things, other things from the few Goodwills that I went to. I got this little black lampshade. That'll glow nice and bright. Well, nice and shimmery. but this is a smaller, it goes for a smaller lamp. So think like lamp that goes on your kitchen counter or on in a little bookcase. It's a smaller shade. And then I picked this little girl up at the Goodwill. Loved her. Got this at the Goodwill, a St. Clair Bell paperweight. I picked this cool fish up. You can hang him there. Or you can make some little base for him or something. And then I got this piece of lucite at the Goodwill. This is signed. It's like walled or something like that. That is the Goodwill. Then this is another little mom and pop thrift store. We found not one, but two of these. Yes, they're reproductions, but they were so neat. And they're little desk inkwells. Whatever went here is not here anymore. So there's one. But you could put whatever, a little silver or a little clear dish. This doesn't have their little dishes. Now I'm curious that when I go back throughout the week, if in one of their sections I'll see these little dishes like randomly on a shelf somewhere priced to see, because that would happen to have them. So it's a good possibility they might be there somewhere. Then it's only one, but I only found one little uranium piece, a little sherbet dish. And then this is a silver and glass trivet. Thought that was beautiful, so I did get those. A lot of this other stuff is in bags now, because I just found this stuff yesterday. That other stuff was taken out, and you might have seen my little shop with me. Okay, now it appears there that someone had donated stuff from their antique booth, because some of the items still had those antique store stickers on them. Some of them didn't, but this lid doesn't go on this jar. But this is a cool, like a bicentennial mug, sorry. Blue glass mug. What does it say on the bottom? Take life a little easy. I think that's what it says. Oh, a little easier. Don't we all need that? So I picked that up. I thought that was neat. I did get this awesome juicer. How cool is that? So you just crank this up, right? To as high as you, well, it only goes so high, but as high as you need. You put your fruit under there, your grapefruit, your orange, and then you just smush it and you get juice. So I thought that was awesome. So here's, let's see, like a antique store sticker, but this is like a corn muffin tin, and I thought for the primitive girls this might be something kind of cool to have. Then I was wandering around in there. I was looking over by the books, children's books, children's toys. I did see that I hardly ever go over there, so I need to go over there more because there was some vintage toys over there. There was a couple other resellers in there while I was there, and one of the girls really scored on some those 3D puzzles that they were still wrapped in the plastic, and she got a bucket of vintage Legos. It had like the vintage logo and everything on it. That was really cool. But one of the things I found in the toy section, which this probably should have been in crafts, but maybe they thought this was toy money, was this bag of all these vintage looking coins that I can craft with. So that was neat. And then I think there's one or two more of these cute little shell dishes. These are all over TikTok. Some girls can say that they can find them, and other girls it's like, this is my wish list item. So some things I'm like, oh, I see that all the time, and some things I've never seen before ever. So, but I thought those were really sweet. There's a couple more things. I got this amber glass cake plate. Now one of the little local thrift stores is way cheaper than the other little local thrift stores. So like, I feel like one of them that I go to, and me and Aaron have this theory, that when it's snowbird time, I really think that they mark all their stuff up because they know they're going to be busier and the snowbirds will pay. So, like say during the summer, I might see this at that store for maybe $8 to $10, I would say, because they really, they do try and do like more boutique, like nicer things. But snowbird time, they're going to stick this on their shelf for like $25. And I just can't do that because that's probably the best I could get for it. But, I did find this at a really reasonable deal. So sorry about that. And then I did pick this up, and this has the insides and the plug. Normally I don't touch them, unless there's something really, really fancy, like antique fancy. It has like the glass knob and everything. So got that. I got that just as they put those out, actually. Now, like almost everything you see here, minus that little fairy lamp. Gosh, I love that little fairy lamp, and this is all going to be up for grabs. So either in our eBay store, or if you guys don't know, we do have another channel called Chapter 2 Vintage Co. here on YouTube. And every Thursday, unless it's like something weird, like maybe it's Christmas or something, or, you know, someone's really sick. Every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, we go live and we sell all the items that we found throughout the week. So I hope you guys can stop by. So all the things that you see here, I don't have some crazy like shopping habit or anything. I do resell. Yes. Say hello to the people.
Hi. What you gonna show?
So yeah, so I don't have some like weird crazy shopping habit or anything like that. That's what it's for, our eBay store and our live sales that we host. But back to the shopping haul. So over in the toy section, I found vintage, like little kid, like music thimbles. That's about all I was allowed to play. Actually, it was the triangle. So I found those. And then a little tambourine. And this is missing a couple of its little doodads, but it's so cute. If you wanted to display them on a shelf, how cute would that be? Or in a little kid's room, if you did like a vintage style. I think that would be neat. So we got that there. And then I did end up picking this up because, again, I see the little girls. Not little girls. These, well, they're young to me, but they try and find these little things. This is a little dirty, but such a pretty little trinket dish. This is a repro, but I had to get that Hungry Jack tin. I got this gorgeous wooden box, and it does have the key. And it says Lane, presented by Farmers Furniture of Southwest Florida. And wherever it was, it says it's a salesman sampler. This antique booth wanted $25 for it. I didn't pay that. So let me dig out some more stuff. I believe we found these paintings at Goodwill, actually. I believe that's right. Erin found this one. You might have seen that. Did I show you in a Goodwill? No, I don't think I did. But this gorgeous scene here. And then this one I found. The frame isn't my personal favorite, but to each their own, you know? There's someone that would love that out there. But I found that painting. That was at Goodwill. Surprised that it's not, well, yeah, I guess surprised that it was at Goodwill at all. In their inside part, not on their website. And that I could purchase it. That it wasn't $7,000. And then, oh, this is so cute. I love this. I got this like hammered metal gigantic bucket. And it's got like some French thing on it. And can you imagine that with with flowers? The mix of the brass and the silver metal. You know what I mean? I also got this box. Hold on. I also got this box, and it literally says treasure chest on the top. So it's an old little wood box. And then the inside says English leather treasure chest. So it's a little dirty inside. It would have had something in it, but I picked that up at the thrift store. That could be for stacking, making height. It could be for a crafter. Now this one has, I got some books. Let me get all this out of there so you don't have to watch me do this. I wasn't looking in the regular books. I was at the children's books, and that's where these were, like the children's little toy reading nook area. And I saw all these little vintage bindings. And I did look up one of the Roman numerals, and I think it was from 1993 when this was done, but you know, they're like a copy from an older book. I'm pretty sure. This is Great Illustrated Classics. This is Great Expectations from Charles Dickens. And then there's Ivanhoe from Sir Walter Scott. Captain Courageous by Rudyard Kipling. And they're all these, so they kind of go together. King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table by Howard Pyle. Right? Yeah, it's not Ply. And then The Picture of Dorla Gray by Oscar Wilde. So all of those, I'll probably do those all together. And then this is another thing that was at an antique booth, I guess. And she did not price it like this. She came out and was like, she saw me looking at books. You like old books? And so they had it priced at $50. And she goes, I don't agree with that. And I said, good, because you're not an antique mall. And so in this bag was this little book that says the Constitution of the United States of America. And it has a stamp on it that it was from the assistant, maybe superintendent or something in South Norwalk, Connecticut. And then the signers of the Declaration of Independence. And inside here was like a printed out copy of the Declaration of Independence. Boy, don't I wish that was real. But I can see the watermark of the copy paper. And then this says George Rogers Clark, Conqueror of the Northwest. So I don't think this had a... This one's, okay, 1927 for this one is in the bag. And then Story of the Pilgrim Fathers. And John Winthrop, first governor of the Massachusetts Bay Colony. Little book about him. Can you imagine wearing this? Paul Revere. This one I like. This one I like. This one is 1930. And then David Crockett, backwoodsman and congressman. And this one is 1928. And then Lafayette, Friend of America. And that one's 1928. He was the French guy that helped us in the American Revolution. So all these were in this bag, and I did not pay $50. Let's see what else I got. Now I've picked this up. She was just putting this out. So you put your candle there, and again, this is like a luminary. It makes the room glow. Another tiny little silver dish. So cute. And then this was like a separator, right? Like, it says Cardinal China Co. Isn't this for like eggs and you could separate the egg yolk from the egg white? Wasn't that what that was? I've seen them like kind of sporadically throughout my reselling life. Then I picked up this little picture, which you guys probably saw in my shop with me. And it is like a dark, snowy winter scene with a horse and carriage. I liked that. The only thing is, it's like, that doesn't fit. This trinket box shelf thing, and this was from an antique store. Or from the same antique booth person. They wanted $65 for it. A little trinket shelf. And it goes on the wall like this. It has two little hangers up here. So it goes like this. It's missing a little knobby thing. But that's so sweet. I got this really old crock. This is one of my favorite things that I found. It's got little chips there, but who cares? That's old. And then the last few things I got, let me get them out, were these. I got this little wooden, like twig rocking chair. I thought that was sweet, especially for the primitive people. I got this old doorknob that you would twist on the other side like this. Doesn't have a doorknob. I got a beautiful brass tray. Look at that. And then the very last thing is this God Bless This House sign, and I think I'm gonna zhuzh it up and make it look a little different. So this, Erin just put a shade on it to show you guys it with a shade, but was this gorgeous hummingbird and flower. It's almost like egg-shaped lamp. Isn't that amazing? It's stunning. So he said I'd just take this off and show you. See? It didn't come with a shade or anything, so you'd have to work that out on your own, but oh my gosh, that's beautiful. That, my friends, right? Yep, I think that's everything I found this week from little local thrift stores, so don't sleep on those. I know YouTube, for whatever reason, all they want to do is push out Goodwill videos and stuff like that. So if one day, by chance, Goodwill decides to be kind and push out the little thrift store videos, you guys will be able to see all these things that I find. Just saying. Maybe put in a word with YouTube. Did I say Goodwill push out the videos? No, YouTube push out the videos. Anyways, thank you guys so much. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe on these videos. Make sure you go over to chapter 2 and subscribe over there. I would love to see you. And I'll talk to you guys in another video. Bye.